Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Midwest Plainsman on the Prairie Land Radio Network. And I am at the Iowa State Convention for the Iowa Lions in Cedar Falls, Iowa, at the Diamond Event Center. And I'm going to be spending some time talking now. Let's see. Yeah, I'll be speaking with Don Thompson, and she is actually she's the leader dog ambassador for the Iowa State Lions, and also the leader dogs for the blind. Now, uh, leader dog program has been around with the Lions for a good many years. Even I remember back in the day when Dad was serving with our home Lions Club in Prairie City and served as district governor back in '79. So I know that the Leader Dog program has been around since then.
Actually, we've been around for 85 years. 1939 is when it started with 3 Lions Club members.
Wow.
They had a friend that was blind.
Okay.
So one of them said, well, I can raise a puppy. Another one said that I can train it. The other one says, well, I can be the instructor and we'll get him, get our friend to be independent and be more confident out in public. And that's pretty much how it all started. And now we're on our 85th year. And here in Iowa, we've had close to 300 um, leader dog teams over the span of 85 years.
Okay, now I know that the Leader Dog program does have a extension here in Iowa now, but I do know that the Leader Dog program itself is where is the main location at?
Leader Dogs is located in Rochester Hills, Michigan, which is on the east side of Michigan. It's about an hour away from Detroit. So it's a suburb of Detroit. So when I went to go get Millie last year, I flew from Iowa to Detroit. And then Leader Dogs has volunteers that go to the airport, pick us up, take us back to the campus.
Okay. Now, I would say that you do have Millie with you, and she is your leader dog?
Yes, she is mine. She's my second one.
Mm.
My first one I got in 2015. Lady was raised at Fort Dodge Correctional Facility by an inmate. And then we were matched July 14 of 2015. She retired November 1 of 2022 because she has cataracts in both eyes. So she had to stop working immediately.
Yep.
And then I applied for Millie, and it took 9.5 months for them to find a dog to be matched up with me because it's quite a process that they go through.
Yeah, because they do have to go through extensive training in order to become certified as a guide dog. And I think that's where a lot of today's misconceptions with people claiming that their dog is a service dog, but I mean, there are certain criteria that have to be met for leader dogs.
Right.
So tell us more about it.
Well, these dogs are trained to be with someone who is blind or visually impaired or even deaf and blind. So the training that these dogs go through, um, they're taught to find a curb. So if Millie and I are walking on a sidewalk and I say, Millie, find the curb, she'll get to the edge of the curb and make it so I don't step off the curb until I give her the next command. She'll take me to a table. She'll take me to a chair. She'll take me to whatever I need to go. And you just tell her one time, you say, Millie, go find this, or Millie, let's go find the bathroom. And they're also trained to get you out of certain circumstances. Like 3 weeks after Millie and I came home, we were actually here in Cedar Falls, and we were at Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and we just ordered our food, and all of a sudden the strobe lights and the siren was going off in the restaurant. Millie was sleeping like she is now. She went from a sleeping position to all four. And
Hmm.
she turned around, she looked at me, and she had her harness facing me. So I grabbed her harness, and she escorted me out of the building. Well, even the wait staff is like, why are you leaving so soon? I said, something's going on that Millie knows that it's not a good
Hmm.
situation.
Right.
And come to find out, there was a grease fire in the kitchen. So the whole restaurant had to evacuate. But Millie and I was the first ones
Hmm.
out. So they're trained to get you out of certain circumstances where there's a siren or where
Hmm.
it's not safe, in other words. But wherever I go, Millie goes.
I was gonna say is even with her being asleep across the way here over at the table, I'm surprised that she's not looking around and saying, "Okay, mom, where are you?"
Yeah, yeah. She knows I'm not there. But she knows, they got good hearing, so
Hmm.
I'm sure she knows I'm over here.
That's what amazes me is
Yep.
yeah, even well, even my little one at home, she knows if I'm not present around her, she will come find me. It's
Right,
like,
right. They say dumb dogs, it's more dumb humans, actually, I always say. But we have issues with, the emotional support dogs.
hmm.
They don't have access to
Right,
anything.
right.
And so that's where a lot of people are like, well, is Millie real? Or is she a fake one? And we don't have to show our card,
Nope.
but I actually have the card and I do it as a training session for the businesses. If they say, well, how do we know if it's a real service dog? And then I will get our card that we actually get from Leader Dogs.
Hmm.
And then I'll show them and say, well, this is what I get because I graduated with Millie, and that makes it legal.
Hmm.
So that's the emotional support dogs have hurt us in many ways.
And me with having my smart attitude, I'd be pulling out the canes. That this proof enough here for you.
Right. Yes. And that's just like Jeremy and I got married last December, and Sue Daniels, who retired as the CEO of Leader Dogs, and we had 12 puppy raisers at our wedding. Well, we have 12 puppy raisers. We're going to have 12 future Leader Dogs.
Yeah, that's true.
And so the place that we had it at, they know me real well. They knew Lady, and they met Millie, and they said, we trust you, so bring these dogs in. And we had puppies from the age of 7 weeks old that Beth Slade delivered to my wedding to give to a puppy raiser in Minnesota that was at my wedding. And the oldest future leader dog that we had was 9 months. So
Nice.
they were all under 10 months old that were all in training. And they laid by their puppy raiser. And then I met up with the owner before we left, and they said they rather have future leader dogs than have children
Oh,
at a wedding reception. So,
yeah, I can agree with that
yeah.
because I have been a wedding DJ for the
Oh,
past
yes.
22 years, so I know what they're talking
Yes,
about.
yes. So, no, and even if Millie pees on the floor, Millie barks in public, we can be asked to leave. She still has to behave.
Hmm.
So, and actually, I don't know if you know this, but today is Helen Keller Day.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yes, June 1st is always Helen Keller Day.
okay. I was not aware of that, but I am now.
Yep. So,
Excellent. So, now with you being the uh, ambassador for the Leader Dog program, uh, and where do you see the program going in the next 4 to 5 years?
oh, I see I see the program still expanding. You know, the need for these dogs are out there, people. And
Hmm.
I was born and raised in Michigan. I've only been in Iowa since 2020. And my hometown is 2.5 hours from leader dogs. I never knew about leader dogs until I went to a convention for the blind. And that's how I was introduced to leader dogs. And no, I can see this organization still going for, I mean, we're 85 years old, and I say I can see it going probably forever if they could. I know that there is a college in Georgia that built a robot that is going to
Hmm.
be a guide dog robot,
Okay.
but there is a lot of stuff that I don't like about it because you can't fly with this thing because you have to
Yeah,
take the battery out,
right.
and you can't take this robot when it's raining or snow.
Nope.
I mean, look at where we live.
Yeah, here in the Midwest, that wouldn't do any
It
good.
wouldn't work for us. And to me, it looks like a big blob.
Oh, good grief.
So that's what they think the future's going to be, is to
Well,
go to robots. But I
no,
don't see it happening.
no, neither do I. I mean, 'cause leader dogs play an essential role. I mean, a leader dog essentially also becomes a member of the family too.
Yes. Yes. They're treated like a child. Very
Hmm.
much. They're spoiled like a child. But if they misbehave, they get a timeout in their crate. So
Hmm.
yeah, they do, and they do know when it's working time, but they also know when it's time I can just be a dog.
Hmm.
Because like for Millie, when she's home, I've got enough people home with me that she's just a dog. She can go and run and play and bark and do everything that she can't do in harness. So she knows the difference between I'm a pet and I'm working. And I think that's so important to keep that up. And, we
Yep.
go through 3 weeks of training, and it's intense training, but that training never stops because we are always doing obedience of her sitting and staying and laying and being obedient. But that's not the only program that Leader Dogs does. We do O&M training, which is
Okay.
orientation mobility
Oh,
training.
okay.
That's where they teach you how to use your cane, your white cane, and be um, independent with your cane. And actually, you need to learn that before you can get a dog.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, and a lot of people think, well, I skip that part and just give me the dog, but it doesn't work that
No, it
way.
don't work that way.
No.
You gotta be able to know basics. You got to be able to
Right. You got to,
figure your way around first and uh,
yes.
get acclimated to
Right.
things.
Exactly. Exactly. And, I waited 9.5 months to get Millie. So it's not, oh, I just apply and boom, there's a dog for me.
Hmm.
There's a lot of paperwork. You got to do videos. You got to do doctor's appointments. With
Hmm.
your primary doctor, your eye doctor. And like right now, I'm legally blind and I'm also legally deaf.
Oh, okay.
So I do qualify for a deaf blind dog, but right now I don't know sign language. So I
Hmm.
have to be fluent in sign language before I can get a dual trained dog.
And that's something that I have also been meaning to learn myself is sign language because uh, I've served as a volunteer first responder for
Hmm.
uh, since the late '80s, and that's something that I keep getting told that I need to learn. I'm like, one of these days
Yeah.
I'll learn it.
Yes. It's just like Braille. I've been legally blind since birth, and I don't know how to do Braille, I'm losing my sight even more. Each month my sight keeps getting worse and worse. So eventually I'm gonna have to learn to do braille. Um, it's harder to learn it when you're old.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it is, and that's something that medical professionals don't realize,
right.
and other people too.
Like I did not start walking with a cane until I was in my 40s. So basically, I should have started right when I started walking. But my vision was never good. But no one really introduced the cane to my parents. You know, tripping, falling, running into doors, running into things. That was my usual. I didn't know any other way. And then when I was introduced to the cane, it was a whole new world out there.
Nice. So you've been an ambassador with the Leader Dog program for a long time,
Hmm.
then.
I've been with Leader Dog since 2015 when I got my first dog. So yeah, it was an adjustment, and but it was a good adjustment. Um, I think it was easier for me to adjust to be independent, being more confident out in public. Um, my family, on the other hand, did not like it at first because they were so used to helping me all the time.
Hmm.
And they had a hard time kind of letting go, I guess you could say, and let me do my own thing. So,
Yeah,
acting with blind people, I never did
hmm,
until I was introduced to leader dogs. And, it's different being in a building with all blind people because I'm used to sighted. That's what I've always known all my life. So it was kind of hard to adapt to that when
hmm.
I'm in training, but the second time around it was much easier.
Well, and I know that with technology coming around the way it is these days, that I mean, yeah, there are organizations out there that's trying to adapt new technology to be more assist wise
Right.
to blind and deaf people.
Right. But the thing that we're still hurting is schools, like public schools,
Hmm.
private schools. They don't know how to um, teach someone who's blind. Like when I lived in Michigan, I had a regular customer. I was a cashier for 25 years, even though I'm legally blind. But I had a customer that his daughter's totally blind, and the school that she went to is a very good school. But he goes, they don't know how to teach her because she's totally blind, but she doesn't meet the qualifications to go to a blind school. And where I lived in Michigan, we didn't have one real close. It was still like an hour and a half away to go to a blind school. So I mean, this girl's only 6 years old, but
And
they made it
that's
work.
and that's part of one of the downfalls is that yeah, the schools they are not equipped to being able to properly teach uh, kids with special needs, with
Yeah, with any
being
disability.
blind,
Yeah.
with any disability. Yes. And now, how many actual blind schools are there currently?
Well, there's one in Michigan, which is in Kalamazoo. There's one in Iowa, in Des Moines.
Okay.
And I know that there's one in Minnesota. And the only reason I know that is because I have been associated with those states. But other than that, I don't know. Like when I went to school, um, the minister of my church went to the Lions. And this is back in the 70s. You know, back in the
Okay.
70s, it was all men was in your group.
Yep.
And so the minister went to the Lions Club. Thankfully, I lived in a small, close knit community, farm town, and they reached out to Lions International, and I got the bigger books with the bigger print. So my book was bigger than my desk. So a lot of times I had to stand up and do a lot of it. But that's how I got through first grade to my 12th grade was these bigger size print books and using audio tapes. If you had to read a book and do a book report, I had to listen and then do a book report because I can't read something and comprehend what I just read.
Right.
So that's how I basically got through school. But now with the iPhone, I have a magnifier on my iPhone. So like if you go to McDonald's or any fast food, I get my magnifier out and I read the small print on the um, the menu board. You know, a lot of people think I'm taking their picture, but no, it's like I can't read it. So it's I figure out different ways still to be independent instead of asking for help.
Right. And that's always a good thing to be able to do. I mean, it's a good feeling to know that you can be independent, self sufficient, and not have to rely on others
Right.
in order to live your life.
You know, and one of my pet peeves is if you go to Kohl's or you go into any store and you ask where something is. Like if you ask where the bathroom is, it's over there. You know, telling a blind person it's over there, you
It's like,
know,
excuse me. It's like,
yeah. So, and like when you go to Kohl's, you know, they stand by the register. I can help you over here. So
mhm.
I just stand there, you know, and I have people behind me pushing me, saying, "You got to move." But where am I supposed to go?
Mhm.
Because you know, over there, you know, you don't know where they're pointing. And like my vision, I see you, because
Mhm.
you and I are like this close.
Yep.
But like Jeremy's over there, which I know Jeremy's over there. But can I see him? No. So as long as it's close up I can see, but if it's, you know, even from Jeremy and I can't see him from there.
Sounds about like my oldest brother. I mean, uh, the weird part about it is, okay, uh, I'm farsighted. He's nearsighted, and if he's not wearing glasses or contacts, he's blind as a bat.
Right. You know, and you know, all my life I've always had prescription glasses. So when I came here to Iowa, I had a brand new eye doctor, and he goes, "Well, let me see your glasses." And he goes, "Why do you have a prescription?" I said, "I've been wondering that for 50 some years because my lenses alone are $500. And then you got to pay for the frames."
Yep.
And he says, "Does this even help you?" And Jeremy said to him, he goes, "She walks around the house without her glasses on. So it
He's
never
actually no.
works." Right. So I finally I finally have regular glasses with no prescription. And it didn't cost me $1,000 to get glasses. So yeah,
Nice.
it's just it's little things that people don't understand. Because like Jeremy will even say it. Before he met me, he thought blind meant you don't see anything, you know?
There are different
There's
levels of
different, yeah,
blindness.
there's that. There's people with RP, there's tunnel vision, there's some people that have 10% vision.
Hmm.
Um, I'm actually having an issue now where all of a sudden everything will go white. And it's like white as a sheet of paper. And it's called whiteout. And the best way that I can explain it to you is if you're driving and you see a car and
Okay, okay, you're over there. You're good.
yep. And that's another thing that they're taught to stay in a position. And like I before I left, I told her to stay, and they're taught to stay until I come back, so I can leave a room and like go cook a meal or go to the bathroom. That she's not right at my heels like 24/7. Now, if I was totally blind, those dogs will retire earlier because they are working 24/7.
Hmm.
Usually, those dogs retire when they're 5, 6 years old. Now,
Okay.
Millie, if I keep what I have now, she could work till she's 8, 9, or 10.
Wow.
It depends on how much you have to rely on your dog.
Hmm.
So,
True.
like Lady, my first one, she retired 2 weeks before turning 9 years old. And actually, she would still be working because she loved to work. Millie does too, but if she can get to play, she'll play. But she's only 2.5.
Well, naturally. I mean, she's just a pup yet. But
Yes, yes. But we have 4 dogs at home. They're all labs, and they all get along. So,
labs tend to be the biggest babies.
yes. But they're also big instigators.
True. That's
Yes.
true.
My 4-year old and her, they have a love hate relationship. Because when they want to do the bitey face and play, they're fine. But that 4-year old, when she's done. So, yeah, it's quite interesting.
Interesting. All right. Well, I didn't want to let you get back to it and get back over there to Millie, and then I appreciate you taking time out to come talk with
Well,
me.
thank you. And Millie and I do travel around Iowa. So,
Okay. Well, what I may wind up doing is arranging to have you come and speak with the with our club here in Waterloo. Uh, yeah, probably within the next month or so.
yeah, right there's my card. Get a hold of me and we'll set something up.
Appreciate it.
All right. And make sure you say that 100% goes to the client.
Okay.
Because a lot of, when we're out and about, people are like, oh, well, I bet she's expensive. I said, it cost me nothing. Well, how is that possible? Do you donate to your lions? Yeah, but you never see where our money goes. I always point, this is your money at work, just to help the Lions get more money coming in because we are 100% funded and 100% of that money goes to us. Because she's like 65,000 is what
Oh
she's
yeah,
worth.
that
Yeah,
I don't doubt.
yeah. I mean, 1 week of O&M is 5 grand per client.
Wow.
Yeah. So no, I appreciate Lions more than probably some people do because they helped me at a young age. So
Well, and that's what the Lions are all about, is helping out people in the community and serving our community.
right, and a lot of people don't know what a Lions Club is. I've run into that. You know, when I say, "Have you donated to your local Lions?" What's a lion? What is that? So a lot of people don't know.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate part. But once they come to realize that Lions uh, gives back to their community, and everything that comes in to the organization, into the clubs, yeah, is
Yeah,
100% funded and goes right back into helping individuals.
right, exactly. Yep. So no, thank you, and I look forward to coming to your club.
Well, we'll definitely have you here coming up soon.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too.
All right, you've been listening to another edition of the Midwest Plainsman on the Prairie Land Radio Network, and we are going to be continuing our broadcast out here at the Lions State Convention in Cedar Falls, Iowa, at the Diamond Event Center. Have a great day, everyone. More to come here in just a little bit.